Welcome to Dad's Kitchen. Today we're going to make this green stuff, or what's it called, magic sauce. And we use this sauce for dipping bread when we eat dinner, or with tomatoes and lettuce and cheese for breakfast. It's a great sauce. It's really easy to make, and so today we're going to take a look at how to do it. So we start, of course, I love my knives. We start with some fresh basil from the garden. We've been growing basil now for about 6 months, and I like chopping the little ends off because it's a great thing. This is called chiffonade or something weird like that. I learned it at the cooking class in Las Vegas. Basically, you take your leaves and line them all up, roll it into a little roll, and then you want to take a really sharp knife, and as thin as you can do it, you want to cut across the roll you just made. And what that does, you got to watch out for your fingers. What that does is it creates these little strings of basil that are just taste so good. So we're going to go through and we're going to chop this whole roll up, and we'll be right back. Okay, so next, so we've got the basil all chiffonade or whatever the heck that's called. I love fresh basil. I never use something out of a jar. I never use something out of a tube. I always like to chop up my fresh basil myself. And so that comes next. And you know, the amount of ingredients are all sort of variable here. I just, you know, I took like 10 leaves of basil, and I'm going to throw in about 4 cloves of garlic. And you know, it sort of is up to you how much of each of the ingredients you want. I know my mom, who we're making this for today, because she drove the kids last night and she needs something. She likes the garlic, so now we're going to skin the garlic, and then we'll chop it up. So I like using these little skinners. They don't destroy the garlic cloves, and yet they get all the skin off. And I've also heard that if you use metal pans and just put all your garlic cloves into a metal pan and shake it up and down, that strips off the skin as well. But it just makes a lot of noise for me, and this seems to work, so I use it. So I'm going to do 4 garlic cloves, one more. I like rolling it. Let's roll this one. There we go. Yes, so you're perfect. There we go. Alright, so 4 fresh cloves. Leave that aside. Trusty knife, sharp, and off we go. We're going to dice this all up really fine. I like it as small as I can get it. And it's amazing how often I end up chopping garlic. And I don't know, I just never got into garlic squeeze things or automated food processors or any of that. There's just something earthy about chopping up my garlic. And so I do it when I make spaghetti, when I make stuffed mushrooms, when I, what else? All the Mexican dishes. Fajitas and tacos, I'll always crush up some garlic, actually chop up some garlic, and I like using the fresh stuff. Nothing tastes like it. It has a bite and it's not sweet yet. I've noticed that when you take garlic and pre-chop it and stick it in the refrigerator, after a day it starts to turn sweet. I just don't like that. So anyway, here we are, we're getting close. See how fine that garlic's getting. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It's going to be so good. Oma's going to love it. Okay, let's keep going. I love the sharp knife. And this is a chef-size knife, of course. A big boy. Alright, there we go. So, here's our garlic. Take the knife off a little bit, put that in a little pile there. Alright, so lastly we're going to grate some Parmesan cheese, but you know, we're not going to grate it into strips or anything. We're gonna use this weird little thing, and I don't know. I guess it's grating, but it's like making little teeny bits of Parmesan. So I love doing this because cheese just changes so much as you grate it. It goes from this big lump into this wonderful little set of things. So, all right, can you take a closer look at this, Gracie? And you know, we've got our freshly cut basil, we've got our fresh diced garlic, and we've got our whatever the heck this is, cheese. And we're going to put it all in this bowl. And I like using extra virgin olive oil. Lots of different brands you can use, of course, Italian, Greek, blah, blah, blah. But always make it extra virgin and not, you know, we're not cooking. What's going to happen is that the oil will be infused with the flavors of the herb and the cheese, and we're going to want to use it for dipping, which means we're going to be eating it directly. And so get the best extra virgin olive oil that you can get. So we're going to throw, I think this is a little bit much. I'm going to throw a little bit. I usually just start adding and then see how far along it gets. I know we want all the garlic because Oma likes garlic. And we're going to throw this cheese in here. It gives it some texture. Yeah, okay. And there we go. And I don't really have a, you know, one of those, what are they called? Things that you stir with, so I just use a fork. And with this, we're not too worried about, you know, folding in or anything like that. So we're just going to dump all this olive oil in here. And I don't know, there's about a cup of olive oil. And then we're going to mix it all up. And I want to make sure that it gets good and mixed. Looks like we could use some more of this cheese. I'm going to add some more. Perfect, it's beautiful, it's coming along well. I'm going to add some more of the basil. Oh, I can smell it. It smells so good. And this pretty much, this is it. You know, it's that simple. And it can sit around and it doesn't, the garlic doesn't turn sweet as long as it's in a closed container. And we usually, you know, we've been putting it into smallmouth bottles, but what we learned in the last few months is a largemouth bottle is probably better, so you can scoop out the garlic and the herbs to dip in, and it actually makes a lot more sense. So I think we'll be using wide mouth bottles. This isn't very much, but Oma comes over every week, so we'll do this week, and if we need more next week, we'll make some more. So that's it. Let's see what this tastes like. I'm gonna get a piece of sourdough bread here, and this is how we typically eat it. And with dinners, we'll just have bread and some of this dip. And sorry, Oma, but I'm gonna taste it right out of your batch. And you know, if you took some bread and some real soft cheese, a tomato, and then put that on a plate in the morning for breakfast. Oh, this is to die for with a cup of coffee. I just love it. Oh. You know what? This one needs just a little bit of white pepper. You know, not dark pepper. I would never do that. Just a little bit to give it a little edge. Cuts down the acidity. This is good. This is good. And I'm going to try it again. Just, you saw a couple of shakes of pepper. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. That's it for this time. See you in Dad's kitchen next week.